Call it school bus talk. I'm live this morning. I'm here in my bus, getting ready. It's a stormy day where I am here. I'm gone live today because this is Friday and it's spring break next week. So I got my microphone here, and hopefully people can hear me and follow along with me as I get this bus ready to check out. Put this microphone right here. Whew. Boy, it is stormy out there. It's very stormy today. Raining hard. It's kind of cold for where we are. If you go up a little bit in elevation, it's probably snowing. As a matter of fact, I know it's snowing at higher elevations. We might get some snow here, but unlikely. But if we do, I'm ready for it. So I don't know if anybody out there is following us right now or not, but I'm here. And somebody comes on board. So since it's so stormy out today, I usually don't do the check out the bus this way, but I'm going to do it today this way. I'm going to start with this bus's brake check. Go through the brake check first. Then go out and check the lights. I got it started already, warm it up. I'll turn the heat on here pretty soon. I like the engine temperature to come up a little bit before turning the heat on, because somebody got the AC. I didn't drive this bus yesterday. This is my regularly assigned bus. This is bus 12. I can't tell if there's anybody out there listening or not right now. This is bus 12. Somebody drove it yesterday. I'm usually assigned to this bus. Somebody drove it yesterday, so I'm sure they messed with the mirrors and everything. I'm going to just start checking this bus out, because I don't really. Oh, look at this. It's 3:14 today, so that's Happy Pi Day. 3.14. It's Pi Day. Yes. It wasn't pie on Pi Day. I didn't notice that until right now. So this old bus 12, it's a transit style bus. It's like 81 passengers bus. Is anybody show? I got about 22 people watching. Okay, so this is Paul at Bus Talk. This is the school bus I drive. It's bus 12. It's built for 81 passengers. It's got seat belts, because the state I work in, buses that have seat belts. Anything after, I think it was 2005, 2004, anything built after that has to have seat belts. So if you're in a bus that has seat belts, the children are required to wear them. So it's a big bus. Yeah, thank you. Sean says that's huge. Yeah, that's a pretty big bus. It's 40 feet long. It's a transit style bus. It's called the Type 1 because it's more than 16 passengers. It's got a really strong engine on it. It has over 147,000 miles. It was built in 2016. It's a Bluebird. All Bluebirds are built in Fort Pike, Georgia. It's a pusher, which means that the power plant is in the back of the bus. It's got air brakes, so I'm going to do the air brake check now. Since it's really stormy here, I'm going to do the light check last. So the first thing I do when you're checking out a bus and doing an air brake check is you do the governor cut in, cut out, which means you pump down the air brakes to about 90 psi, put the engine in high idle, bring it back up. The governor, air pressure governor, keeps the bus's air brake compressor regulated, and it needs to be between 90 and 120. And now I'm listening for the hiss. You may not be able to hear it over this microphone. Well, when it gets to 120, the pressure relief valve will go, and there it goes. All right, so now what I do is I do a static air brake check, which means I turn the bus off, put the key back in auxiliary, watch the air pressure gauges come back up to about 120, look at my watch, say mark. And for the next 60 seconds or so, I have to watch this and make sure the air pressure tank doesn't go below. Well, basically the rule is if the air pressure gauges move at all, because the air, they're kind of sensitive, but not super sensitive, that it's a failure. So this is called the static check, because I'm just waiting and seeing how it goes for 1 minute. And if after 1 minute, as I said, it's Pi Day. I'm filling out paperwork here. When you're a school bus driver, there's lots of paperwork. Today's 3/14/2025. 3.14 is pi, so we call it Pi Day. Happy Pi Day, everybody. I'm going live today because next week is spring break in the district that I work in. So I am getting ready to do this last run before spring break. We'll be off all next week. And it's there's like 53 days of school until summer vacation here in this district, which means we're over 2/3 of the way through the school year here. Over 2/3 of the way through the school year, which is a big deal. So we're almost summer vacation, but it doesn't feel like summer today, man. It is kind of cold. It's rainy. It might snow later, but I kind of doubt it. I know it's snowing at the higher elevations. Okay, that's over 1 minute. So next I do the applied air brakes test, which means you put your foot on the brake, you turn the bus off, you turn it back to auxiliary, you listen for the brakes to pop. The ABS system, the brakes will pop. You can hear them popping. And the ABS system is the automated braking system. And what that does is it uses a computer to make sure that if you have to brake hard, you don't lock up the brakes, because the maximum braking capacity of any vehicle is at that point right before the tires break loose between the friction on the pavement and the tire. So a lot of new modern vehicles have ABS. So when you brake hard, a lot of times you'll feel the brake pedal will vibrate, and that's the ABS system preventing the tires from locking up on the pavement. It used to be in the old days when you braked hard, you didn't want to lock up. You wanted to brake at such a point where you didn't lock it up. But now, pretty much the advice is if you got to slow down, in an emergency, just hit the brakes as hard as you can. And if you have ABS braking, then the computer sensor will maximize your braking capacity. So I got a couple more 30 seconds or so left on this test. This is the applied test. And with the applied test, what you do is you're pushing on the service brake, which is the brake pedal, and you set or you release the parking brake, also called the spring brake, so that it's all the air pressure is being applied in the braking system, and then you watch the brake gauges for 1 minute, and there shouldn't be any decrease in air pressure. And this bus looks like it's going to pass. So I'm setting the air brake again. Now we're going to go to testing the emergency braking system on the bus. And what we do that is we have some switches over here for valves. And there's two braking systems. There's a redundant braking system on a school bus on the air brakes. There's a front and a rear. And so what we do is we drain the front air tank. And I don't know if you can hear that on the microphone, but it's the air tank is draining, the air is hissing out. Now at 60 psi, you get a warning light and an audible alarm, which means air pressure is in the tank is low, danger, warning. And I'm going to continue to drain it down. So the bus is designed with a redundant braking system so that if one braking system fails, the other system will stop the bus. It's called the emergency braking system. So I'm going to drain it down, drain it almost down to zero. And then you start the bus. You look around, make sure it's really dark out here. So you make sure there's no other bus drivers out in the yard. You release the parking brake. You let the bus roll forward a little bit, push on the service brake, and the bus should stop. So what that does is simulate a braking system failure. And in a failure, when you're with kids on the bus, you need to get the bus stopped. So that simulates that system, tests it. So I said there's two systems. So we just did the front. We'll do the rear next. But I got to bring the air pressure back up to 120. So I got my foot on the accelerator. I got a high idle. We'll be bringing it back up to air pressure. I don't know if anybody's out there watching. Looks like we got a couple people watching. So again, this is Paul at School Bus Talk. I do a YouTube channel all about school bus driving, focusing on safety. And I'm doing a YouTube Live today because it's Friday before spring break in the district I work at. The weather here where I'm at is terrible. And it's March 14th, which is 3.14, which is Pi Day. So it's kind of a big day. And it's 53 days of school left until summer vacation, which means we're over 2/3 of the way through the school year. Forgive me, I've had a cough. Okay, so let's do this last emergency braking system. And this time we're going to do the rear tank. There's a thing called the double check valve, which is the double check valve controls the system, emergency braking system. Now I'm looking for it at 60 psi. There's the light and the alarm. Continuing to drain the tank. So the double check valve is really the critical part. And I can't show it to you because it's back up underneath the bus. But on an air brake system, it's a dual operated braking system. The double check valve. If the double check valve breaks and you're operating the bus, yeah, you're in trouble. But I think the quality control and tolerance limits on those parts is really high. Never heard of a double check valve going bad. Okay, so I just tested the rear system. I'm going to put the bus in reverse, put it back in its spot. So this bus, the air brakes are checked out. Now, since it's so stormy, I did the air brakes first on this bus. I haven't gone out and checked all the lights yet because it's really rainy here. And I've been putting that off. So I'm going to have to go out and walk around a couple of times outside the bus. Hope you guys will stick with me as I continue to check out this bus. Paperwork. One thing about being a school bus driver, there is a lot of paperwork. Some districts have gone to iPads, which is really nice. District I work for hasn't issued iPads to its drivers yet. We still do it the old-fashioned way. I just think I don't know. Some drivers are kind of clumsy, so issuing them iPads, and I think a lot of stuff would get broken. I shouldn't put down the other drivers. I'm not saying they're clumsy, but maybe not. With technology, they can be a little rough on technology. All right, this is the two-way radio. I've just turned on the two-way radio. Got my headlights on. Go out and check lights. I turn my hazard lights on. Those are the flashing amber lights on the outside of the bus. I got a crossing system here, so I turn on the master switch, and I turn on the flashing amber lights. I'm gonna take this microphone. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna take my microphone off here because I got to go outside and it's rainy. I don't want the microphone to get wet. I'll be back. Okay. So that loud buzzing sound you hear is I had to open the back emergency door. So that's the alarm that the back emergency door is open. So the next light check is red flashing lights on the bus, turn signals, high beams. And this time I'll take you out. I'm going to leave the microphone here, but I'll take you out to see so you can see what the weather looks like here. And it's bad. And what the outside of the bus looks like. Okay, so I'm back. I don't know how many people are watching right now or not. I got a couple, I guess. A few people have given me a thumbs up. There might be a couple people out watching. So that was the tour of the outside of the bus. I got one more light check to do. If you haven't noticed it, it's dark here. School bus drivers got to get up early in the morning to get the buses checked out so we can pick up the kids. And so we say good morning, but it's still dark here. All right, I got one more light check to do. I'll be back. Yuck. Okay. I am back. So all the lights have been checked. Is there anybody out there following me right now? Oh, doesn't look like I have anybody. following me right now, but I don't have to go back outside the bus again. Oh, I don't have to get wet anymore. That's nice. So I'll put the headlights back on. There, you guys follow me. I'm going to go check the inside of the bus. And I'll move the camera so you can see me do that. There you go. That's what it looks like on the inside of the bus. So I'm just walking down the inside of the bus, primarily checking the seat belts to make sure all the buckles are out. What happens a lot of times is the buckles get pushed down between the seats. Kids can't get them. Gotta be able to get the buckles on the seat belts. Get them all out. Sometimes some paperwork gets left on the bus. So I'm just working my way through the bus, checking the seat belts, checking the emergency exits, making sure they work and the alarm goes off. There we go. Everything looks pretty good back here. Still a few things to check. There you go. A few more things to check. Seatbelts get shoved down between the seats. You gotta pull them out. When the seatbelts get shoved down the seats like this, it's an indication that the kids aren't wearing them. Which they should. Anybody that's been in a traffic accident, even though the buses are super safe, anybody's been in a traffic accident or anything, you really, seatbelts are important. And is anybody watching right now? Boy, I can't tell. Let's see. No, it doesn't look like anybody's watching me right now. So I'm going to put the back over here. Look, I'm getting any views. But I'll keep talking for a little while. Maybe somebody will come on board. I'll move this a little bit closer so somebody comes on board and writes a comment. So, yeah. All right. So, still got paperwork to fill out. There we go. More paperwork. Two-way radio. Well, I haven't done that yet. NA on that. NA on that. I'll check all these. That's done. Yeah. So, like I said, I'll check this one thing here. Emergency release. You guys probably heard that. There we go. That's working. Other than that, I'm not getting out of this bus now. Unless I have to. Because it's really rainy. I'm going to have to leave a little bit early because it's so stormy. Today, since it is start of spring break, I got treats for the kids. Everybody's got these little Chips Ahoy cookies. Really good. There's different ones. Chips Ahoy. This is Chips Ahoy with Reese's Pieces. Ooh, that sounds good. Chips Ahoy with Hershey's. Yeah, so these are all good. Those are good. Kids are gonna get a big treat today. We're almost to summer vacation. We've got like 53 days of summer vacation. Like I said, it's Pi Day today, which is 3.14. So it's March 14th. And we're going to be on spring break, which means we get a week off. Woohoo! No school, no work, vacation, sleep in. And as a school bus driver, man, you really appreciate sleeping in because I get up. My alarm goes off at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I used to have a job where we called that. That's what we call it. Oh, dark, stupid. It is really early and it's dark. And I mean, Who likes getting up that early? I mean, it doesn't bother me. I've done it for my whole career, and I used to work graveyard shifts, uh, so I don't mind doing that. It's just part of life, but it is early. I mean, even my dog will wake up when I get up just because she wants to be fed, but she goes she goes right back. She gets fed and she goes back to her bed and lies down, goes back to sleep. I got to go to work, so even animals know it's early. It's kind of so I'm doing more paperwork. I mean, it's if you don't like paperwork, don't be a school bus driver because there's a lot of paperwork. And like I said, some districts have gone with the pads. They've gone with an iPad or tablets, and that's cool. But it still means you got to go through a lot of stuff, and it doesn't. You still got to check off things and certify things and sign things. All right, I'm gonna turn the heat on this bus. It's time. The engine's warmed up. I'm gonna turn what's called the high idle switch on. Okay, this bus has heated mirrors, so I'm gonna turn the heated mirror switch on. Warm up those mirrors. If there's any ice on them, get the ice off of them. So that's pretty much it. Lots of paperwork. Happy Pi Day out there, everybody. It looks like I got one person watching. I hope you can hear me okay. And this is Paul at School Bus Talk. I got a YouTube channel. I talk about school bus driving, and I hope you check it out. I focus on safety, about getting kids to and from school to support their learning. That's what I'm about. Got a lot of long form videos. Got lots of shorts out there that I've done. I go live a couple times a year. So, if you got any questions about being a school bus driver, please let me know. I've had a couple comments on this live, not many, but it's getting to be about time where I start getting ready to go out and pick up the kids. I'm gonna have to leave a little early today because it's stormy. So you can hear the two-way radio is starting to work. Drivers calling in dispatch and stuff, and so I'm gonna have to sign off here pretty soon. But I hope if you like this live that you'd come back and maybe check out my channel, and if you're just interested in school bus driving, or if you're a school bus driver, check out my channel. So that I'm not seeing any more comments. I've had a few comments, but no questions. So sorry about the cough. I had a kind of a little virus going around, so but I'm feeling better. So with that, thank you for joining me at this School Bus Talk Live, and probably go live again sometime before the end of the year. Check out my channel, like and subscribe. Okay, so long from School Bus Talk. Figure out how to